Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your hosts, Justin and BJ. We talk about 3-day-old news, sports, and whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you might cry. And if you hate on our takes, just don't let us know unless it's been 3 days. You can let us know by emailing us at the email box, number 3dayoldpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on all the socials, MySpace, LinkedIn especially. That's where we're at. So, we're here. 3 days have passed, plus some. Justin,
Plus,
carry the
one. Doing good. It's frustrating weekend with the Huskers losing again. It's like the same thing over and over. But we're 6-3 or whatever we are. 6-3. Frustrating, but we had a good weekend. It was Halloween weekend.
Did you have any fall festival stuff at your church?
We had a fall festival a couple weeks before that. So we didn't have anything at the church.
Here's a hot take as we get started in this. Why do we as churches call them fall festivals just to avoid the holiday, yet we still do the holiday?
I don't know. I mean, wasn't Halloween originally, like, isn't it All Hallows Eve before All Saints Day?
All Saints Day. It's you're right, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of history there. But what it's because I had people in my church in Illinois that just fought me on this. We did a trunk or treat because I wouldn't call something a fall harvest party, because to me that was just like, call it what it is. You're just call it a Halloween alternative, before you try to change the name. That's just my opinion. Hot take, I guess, number one tonight. So there we go. So you had good. What'd you go as? What'd you dress up as? Which M&M color were you?
Well, I was wearing red, so red.
You always wear red, though. So.
Well, it was kind of chilly sitting outside handing out candy to the kids.
You're still one of those good people that hands out candy. I shut all my lights off and close the doors and be like, leave me alone.
Oh, I thought you were going to hand out candy.
No.
Oh, I handed out potatoes.
Yeah, what was that about?
So I don't know, some trend. My kids said people did it last year. This year I did it. It was a hit. Kids were yelling down the street, I got a potato. And they're like, go get a potato. And I was like, and Becky thought I was the craziest person ever because I did buy potatoes, but we're going to do potatoes again next year.
Okay.
Anyways.
Well, good for you.
And I didn't have to go around with kids. Kids are old enough. They went and did their own thing.
Yeah, that's so nice. And then when your kids don't want to go, it's even better because you just can sit at home. Now, I'll tell you this is what we did for Halloween. We bought candy so we could consume candy.
That's what you said.
Then we watched like traditional horror movie stuff, which I've never seen. Like, my dad used to watch like the stupid cheesy Friday the 13th kind of movies. I've never seen any of those. Like, I'm like, no, I like gore and crime shows and all this stuff. But so we watched the remake of Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis and
okay.
So Mike Myers is the killer. Yeah. So they did a remake of the original, and so we watched that. Well, we got done and we're like, we got to see what the next one is, but we didn't want to watch like the old ones from the 70s.
Yeah.
So we watched Halloween Ends, which is the last one in the 13 movies of the Halloween series, and we watched those two. And I'm telling you what, that movie is so gory. I mean, it puts a war movie to shame, and how much blood, and it was gross. It was disgusting.
Over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. Well,
we're just getting old.
We're getting old, true. But you said, rough weekend for the Huskers for sure. We'll get into that a little bit later. We're going to jump into another guest, which is really cool. But before we do that, I was getting dressed yesterday morning. No, I did do that. But I was like, I've got different teams because I've moved around a lot and I follow different teams for different reasons. And the team that I follow out here is horrible. They fired their coach, all the things. We talked about that. And it's like, I even was on campus a couple weeks ago and trying to find a place to drop my resume off, But I was like, my teams went. If you count that team, my teams went 2-1 this weekend. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. So Oregon State even won this weekend. So
They played. Did they play Washington State?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
So
outcasts of the Pac-12.
the Pac-12 originals,
The Pac-2s now.
the Pac. Well, there's more than that now, but yeah.
Whatever they call
It's
themselves.
so we were on campus before you introduced our guest tonight. I want to share this. We were on campus to take one of our kids to college visit there, and we're standing outside Research Stadium, and there's posters of all. You know how good teams have all the posters of championships and all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, they had all of these championship posters all along the side of the building, and I'm just like, what are they champions of? Well, they were posting like their Pac-12 conference championships from last year when there was only 2 teams in it. So good for them. But
well, one day you'll be the coach there.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, we're gonna get this going. We're gonna bring on our guest. He is well, I've known him since high school. And Josh Topolski is gonna join us tonight. Josh, are you here?
Yes, I'm here, Justin.
Well, there he is. I thought I heard your microphone coming on and joining the studio here. Josh Topolski. I have known him since high school. And we went to Lincoln East High. And when we graduated, we didn't really see each other afterwards. And then it was later on, I think, correct me if this is wrong, you answered a Craigslist post for a drummer position at our church in the worship team. And
Yes.
That's how we reconnected. So.
Yeah. So
Josh.
It took a Craigslist ad for a worship drummer for me to ever consider going to a Nazarene church because I knew nothing about what Nazarene even meant. I thought it would be everybody would be dressed like Little House on the Prairie, and I was like, for all I knew, it was Mennonite. Like those were synonymous to me. I didn't know what Nazarene meant.
Oh, that's
DJ. Getting beat up here. But so welcome, Josh. Welcome. It's I am excited to have you on because we were going to do an episode about people who started businesses and stuff, and you were in my mind because you own your own business, and but overall, you have become a really good friend of mine over the years. My golfing buddy, my football. We watch football together. You and your family are just awesome, and I've enjoyed the friendship and reacquaintance over the years. So, Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your family and what you do for a living, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So, after high school, I went to Omaha, and because I kind of had a love-hate relationship with Lincoln. And we're originally from Omaha, my whole family. And little by little, everybody started making Lincoln their home, and I was the last holdout. And then I came back, and we reconnected at Connecting Point Church. And but before that, I did meet my wife, Ashley, and we are a blended family. She had 3 kids when I met her, and I was a seedless bachelor, and who actually grew up with a single mom of 3 sons. So I lived the flip side of that story. And I not to get too far in the weeds, but I was getting in a lot of trouble in Omaha, and I came here and got right with God again, cleaned up my life, asked him for some purpose, and met my wife with 3 children, got a whole lot of purpose. And then since then, we've had a son together, Jason. He's in 7th grade. And life is good. God is good. It's been great getting back together with you. You are the only person from high school that I still have any sort of relationship with these days. So
Yeah, likewise. There's not too many people from high school. When I was done with high school, I was kind of done with high school. Besides, the
Right.
people I graduated with, there wasn't too many people that
Justin, who are we kidding? You were done with high school sophomore year. Come on.
well, yeah, I know. Yeah. Hang on, at least junior year.
Yeah.
At least junior year. But so Josh, what do you do for a living?
Oh yeah, we didn't get to that. So
No, you're good.
I own and operate a sign and digital printing company here in Lincoln called Vivid Sign Co. The elevator pitch is we help businesses display their brand, product, service, or message through large format printing, vehicle graphics, environmental graphics, and the creative application they're in. So,
Yeah, huge plug. Josh is amazing at what he does, and he's one of those business owners that, from afar, I've never owned a business and had to buy a product from him, but he's printed stuff for me in the past and done a lot of stuff for our church, past, present, and probably the future, because his quality of his work and how diligent he is about what he's doing is just spot on. And he's not going to cut corners about the work he does, and he'll tell you, "Nah, I don't think this is going to work. We're going to have to clean this up," just like any good business person probably should. So, but there's more to that. I mean, he runs a really well organized business. I can tell you that much. Being there, seeing it behind the scenes sometimes.
yeah, I like to solve problems. So I don't like to sell people things they don't need. I just like to, if people have identified a problem, I'd be happy to come alongside them and help them solve that problem, and no more, no less.
Yeah. And Josh, did you work in the sign business field before you started Vivid?
Excuse me. Yeah, when I was after high school, I went back to Omaha. I went to Iowa Western. Those were the Reaver days. I was a Iowa Western Reaver, and went to school for computer science. And while I was going to school, I worked for a sign company. This is after getting fired from a Cabredlo's gas station because I was doing homework after I had my whole checklist done. Had all the M&Ms dusted and everything, and I'd do my homework, and they frowned upon that. And I'm like, well, I'm a college student. And so luckily there was a sign company that just said, come in on when you don't have class, come in and work, and you don't have nights or weekends to work, and frees up your time for studies and social life. And yeah, graduated, did the computer thing for a year with West Corporation in Omaha, and then realized my personality is not to sit behind a computer all day, and went back to the sign thing and did that long enough, as long as I could. You kind of hit a glass ceiling. A lot of these shops are family owned, small businesses, and if you're trying to start a family and provide for a family, the next logical step is to just take all your knowledge and relationships and go do your own thing.
And so how long has Vivid's Sign Co. been around?
So yeah, my son was born April 4th, 2013. And then on April 5th, 2013, all of the equipment that I bought to start my business and be on my own came the day after his birth. So
okay.
It's one day younger than my son. So since 2013, I've been all in on my own. Yeah, by the grace of God, people still use me. So.
Oh, dude, your business card's in my pocket, or sharing you on social media and stuff. So I always try to plug it as much as I can.
I can guarantee the first like and share on anything is usually Justin. So yes, I'm very appreciative of that.
Wow. I only have 5 followers, so don't say that much. But no. Well, awesome. Yeah, that's it. Seeing you thrive in the stuff that you do, I always am like, well, Josh is always like one of my first calls about golfing. We golf together a lot. a lot of scrambles or just getting out and playing. And he invites me to he gets a lot of connections for golf scrambles and too. So I know where I'm at in the pecking order sometimes because he's got really other good golfer family friends too. So I've taken the role that I'll be like the first or second alternate, but I'm always appreciative of going to those events because it's been fun being around the people that he works with and seeing him interact. And it's fun times, and just being on the course with him is never a dull moment. It's always
likewise.
Always something. So, but
yeah, you're my perennial golf scramble partner. But yeah, the thing is you just got to spread the love. So like sometimes someone scratches my back, so I got to toss an invite somewhere else. Cause a lot of these are like, we're sponsored or I've done the signs for the event, so I get a free team. So I'm just letting people come alongside for free. And you don't get all of them, Justin. You don't get all of them. So.
Oh, I don't ever assume anything.
But you're a great golfer. Even though looking at you, I don't know if you would assume that. You'd be like, what is this guy? He's good at podcasts, he looks like. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't even know.
But no, you know the guy who looks like he's good at golf. He has his shirt tucked. He looks like he could go play golf anytime. Even if he's mowing the lawn, he's got a tucked in shirt and slacks. And
that's not
what
me.
That's what good golf. We don't look like that.
No.
Yeah. But you are an amazing golfer. So yeah.
I try. Appreciate you. I'll send you your $100 in the mail, and we'll be good to go on that. I probably owe you about $100 or more.
No, it's all taken care of in the game.
Well, Josh, the other question that BJ always puts on me is you've known that I've done a podcast for a while. How many episodes have you listened to? 1, 5, what are we up to? 54 episodes now, BJ? I don't remember what we are.
Something like that, yeah.
So if you had to guess guesstimate how many minutes you've listened to, like, what do you know about our podcast?
So you've done one every week and you've done 54, right?
Oh, we haven't done every week. We took off during the holidays.
Okay.
We've been going a little bit over a calendar year, but
yeah.
We're at 54 episodes, but yeah, we've took some weeks off for sure.
So yeah, and I listen to podcasts like crazy. And I knew you started a podcast. And I don't know what I was waiting for. Other than maybe like I ran out of other podcasts to listen to.
That's fair. Totally understandable.
And I was like, all right, well, let's see what Justin's doing with this podcast thing. And so naturally I went and listened to the first 5 or so episodes. Listen to you guys make some horrible predictions about the Ravens beating the Raiders last year. And what happened? The Raiders beat the Ravens, baby. But anyways, we'll talk more about that later. And then I was like, it's fun listening to their hits and misses on these predictions, but I want to kind of fast forward. And the other thing is like, I listened all the way through faithfully to those reverb episodes.
Our bad reverb one.
Yeah. The one where you got a sponsor.
Yep.
And I thought, I'm going to go into the future, and this is going to sound like the Joe Rogan experience. They're going to have all the warts and stuff figured out. And then initially I thought your mic sounded better, and BJ was having those reverb issues, but then it seemed like he's got a clean mic now, and you're working on yours still. But yeah, no, the content's great. I listened to as much as I can. I loved the Church Hurt series. We could go tangent on that, but we got other stuff to talk about. You'll just have to have me back when you do part 2 on that.
Well, give us something about the Church Hurt series. Give us some. I mean, we got time.
You kind of compared Nazarenes to Mennonites.
Well, that was an ignorant guy.
Understood. I appreciate your awareness there. I just have had some recent experience with the Mennonite. Let's just call it a seed of faith, because I'd probably put them more in the camp of Mormons than Nazarenes. And that's if a Mennonite's listening, they're going to argue with me, but they're wrong. So, but
yeah, they have they have a funky theology, don't they? Yeah, something.
It's just there's so much tradition, and it's so old school that it's a dying denomination, and they're not self-aware enough to realize the reason why people are leaving their churches. It's absurd. Anyway, we don't need to stay there because I'll get in trouble for that. But I am curious though about, you mentioned answering a Craigslist ad to go to Connecting Point.
Right.
What year can we say who the worship pastor was? Can we talk about that era of time, or what led you to Connecting Point besides Craigslist?
Yeah, so just being a drummer, wanting to serve in a church. The church was also smaller. I was born and raised in Omaha in a Presbyterian church. So I was baptized as a baby. I've been part of the covenant my whole life, sprinkled as a baby. And then when we moved to Lincoln, we went to kind of what you would probably call a mega church here. And it was, the gospel was preached there. It was good. But it's one of those places you could kind of get lost in the crowd. And then after high school, I went to Omaha, came back, met my wife, and we were looking for churches. And my parents had moved from one big church to another, even bigger church, and a church where you can kind of get lost in the crowd. So I always had an affinity for smaller churches where you kind of have no choice but to serve and be known. And, like you said earlier, you guys mentioned a lot on your podcast about accountability. That is a huge part of having the experience I believe God wants you to have in a church, in a local assembly. So yeah, not just the answering the drum ad, but the size of the church was small. We went, and the people were, I know it's been said on here before, but yeah, the people were amazing, super welcoming, super intentional about getting to know you and just wanting to love on you. So made a huge impression on us, and the rest is history. So got plugged in. That was Mitch. Mitch was the worship pastor at that time. And I think he was kind of shaking things up because I think he was kind of pushing more contemporary style worship music.
Yeah, a little bit more contemporary, yeah.
Yeah. And that just started a whole thing. Now Connecting Point's like, they're like class A as far as like worship band production in churches in Lincoln. So,
well, we try.
Well, when you've got,
but we lose a lot of good people though too, and so
well, that happens.
Yeah, it happens. It transitions. But you're going to say something, BJ?
I would second that. When you've got Brian Quaid leading things in that department, I mean, it's
Brian he Quaid was born for that.
Best of the best, yeah.
He was made to do that.
That's cool.
And Josh is. Oh, go ahead, BJ.
I just was gonna. You said that you kind of left, and can I ask where you're attending now? Can you throw a church plug in there now?
Yeah, now we go to a church called Sower Church. There's no denomination named on the sign outside the building, but we are a part of the SBC, one of the 40,000. And if I had to describe the church, I would say it's leaning Reformed Baptist, just because of our liturgy. We do weekly communion. We do like recite the catechisms and the confessions every week as a congregation. Kind of a stripped down worship. Very much congregational. Singing is the loudest thing. And yeah, plurality of elders who all teach and preach on a regular basis. And and just preach out of the Bible, the book. So like, we have 2 co-lead pastors, And if any of the pastors, God forbid something happened, there's someone to pick up the spot, and the church isn't going to fall apart because a pastor leaves or, stops preaching, because I feel like the church emphasizes preaching the word and letting the word do the work that the word's going to do, and not somebody's personality. So
yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. You don't meet in the Capitol building, do you?
no, we are in an old Methodist church that they bought.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, reconquisted that church. So, yeah, it's on 27th and R. So yeah, a lot of people. So I live in Southeast Lincoln, and they're like, that's a long ways away, but we are a scattered people, but we do what we got to do to get together with the people God called us to be with. So
that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. I can just hear it in your voice. There's a passion, there's a purpose there, and good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and full
Josh,
circle.
Oh, go ahead, Josh.
I got to bring this up now because we're talking about full circle. One of our co-lead pastors was born and raised in Denver, and his dad is a pastor, and they moved to Omaha, and took over. Well, started preaching at a church there, and then Sower is a plant from that Omaha church, and he's a huge Broncos fan. So
he's a good man.
Yeah.
He's
a good man.
So we brought it full circle to Nebraska, Colorado, and pastors on the podcast.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to do anything, Justin. Josh, he's showing us the ropes, man. So
Josh,
awesome.
Yeah, Josh is amazing at a lot of things he does. I will tell you one thing. The one thing I really enjoyed, and I still watching Josh drum and worship at the same time. I've never seen somebody worship and play the drums. Drums is so intense sometimes. You can kind of get lost in it. But that was one thing Becky and multiple people said when Josh was drumming. He wasn't just sitting behind the drum kit playing. He was worshiping every time. And that's a kudos to you about that, and how that just comes across in showing your talents and everything that you do from the church standpoint, and worshiping and letting people hear that. And man, I miss your drumming all the time. I wish I could just listen to your drum recordings all the time. It's amazing, and you're very talented. So God's blessed you with that. So with a lot of things.
Yeah, some of my greatest memories are playing with that group at Connecting Point, and just the passion for excellence that everybody had there. I mean, I think I still go on. We did a COVID Easter recording.
We did.
That's on YouTube. You could still go watch it. I still go watch it because I think the sound is so good, and it's just so fun to watch and relive that little worship set, even though we're playing to nobody. But you wouldn't know because, we're playing to an empty room, but it was for online church during COVID. But yeah, the production level, it's so good.
Was one of our biggest productions that we did with nobody around. Yeah, we had multiple camera angles. We made it seem like people were in the church with us. Right. It was the post editing on it was crazy. From all the camera angles, but we didn't know what to do during COVID, but we wanted to bring something that people would remember. And just like you said, you can go back to it, and it is. I remember sitting in the church, and we had, I don't know how many cameras we had everywhere running around, and
there was cameras on like tracks that moved by themselves without people. It was weird, but it looks cool. And there was a camera in the drum cage, which was correct. Normally I'm in there by myself, quarantined in the drum cage, but there was a camera in there with me, and it's fun to see things from those angles.
So Justin, do you guys still have a camera in the drum cage now?
We don't actually have a drum cage. We actually bought an electric drum set that actually, it's It's probably one of the better ones on the market. I think Josh knows more about these
Oh,
electric
it's the
drum
best
kits.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have the best electronic drum set that is available right now.
It's made by a company that does cymbals, so
Yeah.
you don't have the cymbals look like real cymbals, and it's a pretty awesome set. And I wish I got played more, but we'll get there.
Nice.
But yeah, we don't have room for a drum cage right now in our temporary worship.
I was gonna say you
space.
got a pretty small platform
right now. Yeah, soon to
Yeah.
be changing.
When we watch online for the church we go to, they have a camera still in the cage, and so you get to see kind of the crowd through the cage, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, me and Drew, when we were talking about camera angles and stuff, if we had money to buy more cameras. That Easter, we borrowed a bunch of cameras to shoot that. So if we had enough, we would do that, because that angle looks really cool. Especially watching a keyboard player play at the same time, or somebody playing piano and a drummer, which are both angles that we had for that Easter, is cool to see. So
nice, cool,
a little behind the curtains kind of thing. Well, Josh, cool. What other passions do you have? You have sports passions. We're going to go down this rabbit hole. Here we go.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm not going to let him answer yet, but
yeah, okay.
for those of you that can't see us,
we'll speak in the AFC West ranking orders. So you get to go first.
I get to go first. That's right. That's right. Finally, after so many years, Denver's on top, and it's so good. It's so good. It's been, as a Husker fan and a Bronco fan, watching the Huskers make excuses for the last 10 years about one score losses, and being a Bronco fan and having to go through the same thing, but having to keep my mouth shut because I got Chiefs fans in my family. And I got to take these losses I got to show my kids what it's like to be a true fan and a graceful loser as well as a graceful winner. And so now that Denver's on top, I just want to say, finally, we're back on top, and I don't want to hear any of this garbage about Sean Payton and going after all the stuff that's going off. But I do have a Raider story, because we were talking pre-show that as AFC West fans, like Bronco fans normally hate the Raiders, Chiefs fans normally hate the Raiders, but you and I both have a common interest here, even though you're a Raiders fan, is we both have a disdain and a hatred. I know we're not supposed to hate, but I flippin' hate the Chiefs, and I think you would agree with me. Is that true?
Yeah, it's super convicting because it's the hardest thing not to hate, for me at least. And I don't know what it is, because you're right, because we're supposed to Raiders and Broncos fans are not supposed to like each other, but I think the thing is the Chiefs having their moment right now. We can kind of unite in our hatred for them. and the other thing I was thinking about earlier was because my dad was a Raiders fan because he grew up in South Omaha. He was a South Oak Polish Catholic with 11 brothers and sisters in a teeny tiny house, and stealing cars and getting in trouble, and got drafted to Vietnam when he was 18. I think he, just kind of felt what the Raiders kind of were given there with their tough persona. Plus, they were actually good in those days too.
Yeah.
So it was an easy team to like. And then he gave me that, and from the time I was 6, I was wearing Raiders shirts. And being in Nebraska, everybody here is a Chiefs fan or a Broncos fan, but definitely more in the favor of Chiefs. And I think it's a proximity thing, and also their colors are red and Nebraska's red, and they also have yellow and corn's yellow. I don't know why Nebraska people love the Chiefs, but
we can stop making excuses for their bad color scheme.
Yeah, but I remember even as a kid, there was a guy like I said, I grew up in a Presbyterian church, and there was a guy there that was a huge Chiefs fan, and not just a Chiefs fan, but he actually had a shirt that he would wear to church that said Raider Hater on it. And I just remember like adults would that were Chiefs fans would come at me as a kid with Raiders gear on. And I was just like, I don't know. I just think, I don't know how you can be a Chiefs fan and a Christian I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Amen.
Oh, my
Amen.
God.
No, I love my
You say
Chiefs
that, and they
brothers
have
in
they have a
Christ. I love
church
my
outside
Chiefs brothers in Christ.
outside the.
I know. I did see that, and I actually
Yeah.
that's pretty stinking awesome. But I have heard some of the language out of those players' mouths when the camera's rolling. They need to some of those players maybe need to step across the street and go to that church. But anyways, all that aside, but we are kind of up this week because the Chiefs just lost, so that's good news for both of us, and they have to sit on it for a bye week in that Bills beatdown they just took. So,
well, and that's Josh is on. We're going to pick games here in a few minutes, and we got the Raider Bronco game coming up that we'll be talking a little bit more about. But I want to share this story. One of my favorite Bronco memories is a loss, and it's a loss to the Raiders. I was at the game. I believe I can't remember if it was the 100th or the 500th. If I say 500, that seems exaggeratory, but it was the one of those numbers Monday Night Football game. So it was and Oakland had come into Denver. I was there in person on that Monday night. Rich Gannon was the quarterback. And as a Chief as well, I mean, he's easy to hate. I mean, but he just tore this Jerry Rice when he was with the Raiders. This is that team.
yeah.
The Super Bowl team, I believe, wasn't it? That they went to the
that was
Super
a good
Bowl
year.
that year?
Yeah, they had Rice for the year before that too. Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
we can talk more about that, but yeah.
I was at that game when Jerry Rice caught his record-breaking touchdown. Rich Gannon started that game 22 of 22, and
I remember that.
Didn't throw the ball over 5 yards, and I was just like, "You got to be kidding me! Put somebody in the middle of the field and knock one of these passes down." 22 of 22 is how he started the game, and the Raiders destroyed the Broncos. But it was a Monday night game. I had a blast sitting there in Mile High Stadium watching my Broncos lose, but that was a cool memory for me as a Bronco fan to be there in person for that. What's one of your? Have you been to a Raiders game? What's one of your favorite Raider memories?
So when I was real young, my dad took me. So I don't know how much you remember, but Raiders were in Oakland, and then for just like a few years they went to L.A. and they were the L.A. Raiders, and then they went back to Oakland. But while they were in L.A., my dad took me. We hopped on a plane, went to California, and did the whole experience. And I don't remember a ton of it. Memory is a little foggy. I was young, but my guy was Bo Jackson. Like, I think I was about my son's age. He's 12 now, and I think when I was 12, Bo had the book Bo Knows Bo, and I read that whole book. And 12-year-olds should not be reading that book. It's not kid friendly. But I knew every fact about Bo Jackson. I still to this day have a binder of 300-ish Bo Jackson cards, and
oh geez,
he's my guy, and he was running the same. Like, we would play. I remember one year we played the Lions, and Barry Sanders was on the other side of the ball, and that was just like an epic game to watch Bo go versus Barry. But those years you were talking about with Rich Gannon, like, I think we should have 3 more Super Bowls than we do, because we went to AFC Championship that first year with Gannon and Gruden. And Tony Siragusa sacked Rich Gannon and then rolled all 350 pounds of him all over him and injured him and took him out of the game. And that's why we lost to them. And all these years, like, the NFC teams were nothing. So, like, whoever was coming out of the AFC was going to win the Super Bowl. Yep. So they took that one from us. The next year was the tuck rule. So we were going to beat the Patriots, but the tuck rule gave the ball back to Tom Brady, and if we won that game, we would have been probably a shoo-in for the Super Bowl that year. So another unfortunate event. And then the year after that, we make it to the Super Bowl, but this year Gruden has hopped ship, and he's the coach of the other team. So how are you going to beat the team who has your ex-coach who knows everything you're going to do before you do it? So terrible 3-year run there.
You had Bill Callahan on that team. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what did he do at Nebraska, man? But yeah, no, those were terrible.
I've got him to Nebraska, didn't it?
It's true.
Oh yeah, probably. And then Tom Brady has the audacity to now have ownership stake in the Raiders.
Yes.
Which is like the biggest knife in the side. So yeah.
Yeah.
So like, speaking of like team hate, like, so those things, like, I never liked the Ravens forever. And ironically, I do like him now. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he's awesome. He's like my perennial fantasy quarterback. And then like Tom Brady and the Patriots, like, that was a wicked hate of those guys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think everybody, if you didn't hate the Patriots, it's kind of like the Yankees, of baseball. Either love them or you hate them. And I don't know that I met anybody until I went to Illinois that loved the Patriots. And one of my friends there, he just loved the Patriots and Tom Brady. And I thought, man, you're weird. So.
And he loved them before Tom Brady, or loved them because of Tom Brady?
He loved them before Tom Brady, but then he played football all the way through college, and his dad played semi-pro when there was a semi-pro NFL. He played for the Bears semi-pro league team, and so he was raised football, but so he likes winning, and he was just a Patriots fan and liked to following them, and we just gave him a hard time because we're like, man, you're just a bandwagoner. But yeah, he wasn't. He liked them, but yeah.
Yeah, quick little side story. I did get a little bit of revenge on the Patriots. So, just by the grace of God, there's a company out here in Seward called Levrack, and they make these awesome like storage units, and you can see them you'll see them in the background of all these shows on like history or TLC or car repair shows. They're just like, they've blown up, and they got stuff all over. Well, they were using me to like wrap them for some of their bigger clients that wanted designs on them. And so we did one for like the Baltimore Orioles for their like equipment, and I wrapped it with the Baltimore Orioles logo. Well, they also did one for Gillette Stadium and wrapped with Patriots logos and colors. And I was, charged to do this for them. And then it's literally getting shipped to Gillette Stadium once it comes out of my hands. And so I couldn't resist, but I cut out of little white vinyl the letters. It says, "It was a fumble," and I put it inside one of the panels, which you won't see right away, but someone's going to see it someday. They probably have seen it by now, but yeah, that was not an incomplete pass. That was a fumble, Tom Brady.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those racks are awesome, man. Those are everywhere. And you were like one of the first. You were right there at the beginning of their company blowing up.
Yeah, I got one in my shop. It's their original design, just straight stainless steel, no powder coating. Now they all are powder coated and fancy, and they look good enough to put inside your home, not just in your garage. But yeah.
Yeah, BJ, they're cool. Have you seen these on? Do you watch car shows? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they have it suspended at the top and it moves back and forth. Yeah, that's from Seward, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Going back quickly, as you brought up business again, being in the sign industry, tell me a little bit about, I'm just curious for my own sake, do you have any repeat customers or potential kind of residual projects in that world, or is it kind of just every month a new month?
Yeah, so it's a little of that and not any of that all at the same time. So we do have a lot of repeat clients, and then it can go like dry in a certain type of thing for months, but you'll get, 5 chiropractors back to back to back. So it's very unpredictable. But at the same time, it's a huge necessity. So, before I got into this business, I never thought twice about signs and printing, but, being in it, I just tell people, like, when you drive from your house to your job, just count all the things that someone had to make to display an advertising or a business sign or something. And I mean, it's just endless. And the running joke is that even when businesses are going out of business, they need a sign to say going out of business. So
That's true.
what we like to say is a business with no sign is a sign of no business. But no, it's fun, and there's a lot of creative applications, and I think that's what keeps us in demand. So with the advent of the internet and shipping, a lot of the smaller things we can't be competitive with that can be shipped. But that's why I'm more like, I would consider it kind of a boutique shop, not in the sense that we're the most expensive, because we find ourselves to be better priced than most places, but in the sense that I get to pick and choose the projects I work on, and I like everything to be kind of quote unquote Instagram worthy. So fun, like environmental graphics and new office buildings and things that require skill to actually do the application and the installation. So wall murals and different things like that. So things you can't order off the internet. Since the internet came about, that's kind of been my focus. And then there are also the funner projects, and they're the ones that you can take more pride in. And so yeah, and then just at the end of the day, just taking care of people. So I know it's cliche, but nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So
that's exactly true, and it doesn't matter the business. When I was in ministry, I'd meet with this guy, and he'd come in my office, and he was a pig farmer, and we'd sit there and talk leadership and business, and he said, there's so many things that are common to no matter what the business is, no matter what the industry is, it's just a different widget. And, for some people, the widget is people, some people it's signs, some people it's pigs, whatever it might be. But there's universal principles that can be applied. Well, there's common sense that's not so common, right? But you're right. Until people know you care about their needs, and that's what you're listening to, they don't care what you can do for them. So you're absolutely right.
Just preaching the word there. There we go.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, it's definitely like, you learn a lot in this life. And, so just my bit of advice for anybody who wants to do the entrepreneur thing is, we used to get told when we were younger that, like, find a job you love and then you're like not going to work anymore, or something warm and fuzzy like that.
Yeah, if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But forget that.
Yeah, that's not true.
Because I do love my job, but it's hard work. I only get out what I put into it, So it's very 1-to-1. There's no residual. There's no in perpetuity type stuff. So my advice would be to find a terribly boring job that's innovative and has a high need for your area that makes you a ton of money, and then use that money to fund your passion projects, like starting a restaurant or something, like the hard businesses. Because there's like a local business here that does document shredding, and all they are is like glorified trashmen. Like, they have the same overhead as a trash company. You have trucks that drive around in a warehouse that's your home base, but because they're like shredding legal documents and medical documents, and they require some accreditation to do that, they can charge multiple X times what a garbage man charges. And these guys are, killing it with that business. And then they're using the money that they make from this terribly boring thing that's an absolute necessity to fund, like, restaurants and different things. And, they have a golf simulator in their office, and it's like, okay, you guys did it right, because I'll never get to that point. But
wait, you have a golf simulator in your office?
I have a poor man's Amazon.
It doesn't matter.
DIY golf simulator.
You have a golf simulator and a putting green on your vinyl room. I've seen it. I've been up there.
I mean, it's a work in progress, but
I know. Here's how good. Here's another plug. Josh, his business is so good, and what he does, and his word of mouth, and his reputation. He doesn't even have a van that has his name on it. His company doesn't have a van. He doesn't even wrap his own vehicles. That's how good that his work is. I always say, Josh, why don't you wrap Yeah, well, we won't right now. He's probably got a good reason why he doesn't. So
Yeah, two quick good reasons. And one is it's like the shoemakers kids go, without shoes thing.
yeah,
Like, too busy to work on our own stuff.
yep,
B, by the time I'm happy with a design, and enough time elapses that I don't like it anymore. So then
that's fair.
we have to move on to something else. So the van, yeah, the dream for the van is to become like a camper van someday. That's the new.
That's the new. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. It's
Yeah. Plus,
the best way to go.
it's fun to roll around incognito.
I don't disagree, but
Right.
and this is why I'm not very good at my own business. Well, I don't have one, but whatever.
Justin, you're great at what you do.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
one other quick thing on business ownership is that, like, and this is okay, but it's not for everybody. Like, there are people who were made to have a personality to run a business. You have to be absolutely dialed in and all about it, and willing to get up in the middle of the night and go do something if you have to, because it's like a child. It's your reputation because your name's on it, and people badmouth it. You want to defend it, so just think about someone saying something bad about a child. You're going to want to go correct that and fix it and make it right. So when you work a job for someone else, you get to clock out at 5 and not have that worry. And I truly believe that some people are wired one way or the other to do one or the other, and it's okay, but just don't try to be one thing and then go into do something else. So to run a business, you really have to be able to make every sacrifice that you're willing to and able to, for that, and it's very stressful.
Yeah,
That's good advice. Thanks for sharing that, for sure.
yeah, definitely.
Well, there's not a good segue to that except for the fact that you've got to defend your team and you got to do it. But we've got some picks to get to. You want to pick with us this week, Josh?
100%.
Awesome. I have not caught up the records yet, so I don't know where we stand. If you're betting with us, you're losing most likely. That's just how it works. So,
Or at least with me. I don't think I.
both of us. We're not doing good.
Well,
anyway.
who got the World Series right?
Neither one.
Neither of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but it was a great World Series. I was
Yep,
going
yep.
7, and yeah, Shohei showed out for sure. So, good. I've got 5 games for us, all football. Being a big football fan, we'll get to the last 2 that matter. We'll save those 2 for last. So I picked the other 3.
Cowboys already lost last night.
We don't care about that.
Okay. That's fair.
So we got 3 games. The other 3 games we're gonna go. We're gonna go 2 NFL and 1 college for these other 3 games.
Okay.
And I just for the 2 NFL games, I just picked a couple that seemed interesting to me. And again, just for those listening and want to know, I have not given them any headway except for they know the Nebraska game. We know we're getting Oakland, Denver tonight, so they don't know any of these other games. But the first one we're going to go with is let's go with the Berlin game. Atlanta Falcons at the Colts in Berlin, 6:30 a.m. Sunday morning. I think that's 6:30 my time, so it might be 8:30 your time. I don't know.
Either way, it gets done before first service.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Indianapolis, I think they've got to probably be the surprise team of the year in the NFL, in my opinion, but they are favored by 6.5 as the home team in Berlin. I'll just go ahead and pick this one myself first, but I'm going to go Atlanta to cover the points on this one just because I like Atlanta for some reason this year.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Colts just picked up they just traded for Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going all in.
Yeah, they are.
They can't lose in Berlin. There's no way.
You're probably right. So I take it you're going Indy on this one?
Colts.
Okay. Josh, who you got on this one?
Well, I think Josh jumped off the line. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
Hang on a second.
I'm back.
Getting dialed back in.
Oh, there
Oh,
he
hey,
is.
babe.
I
I
don't
think
know
he
what
went through a
happened.
tunnel.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, we're picking the Falcons and the Colts game. Colts favored by 6.5. Who you got in this one?
Ugh. I would like the Colts, but I don't know about 6.5. Yeah, like Justin mentioned, they did get some help in the secondary. I think they've been in a minor slump because I do have Tyler Warren on one of my teams, and they haven't been utilizing that guy as much. He was basically a blocker the other day. I think they find their way again. They just have to get out of the country to do it. And I'm going to go with, the Colts, and that offense is going to find their way again and get it done and cover the spread.
Sounds good. Colts it is.
Yeah, I think Taylor's probably going to run for like 160 yards.
Or meters. What country are we in?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
What's
Touche.
the conversion rate?
Nice. The next NFL game we got for us, this is a close spread. It's two teams that are, again, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago with Baker Mayfield, but I picked the New England Patriots at the Bucks. I know we talked about the Patriots and how much we don't like the Patriots. The Bucks are favored by 2.5 at home. Buccaneers, I guess I should be more clear on that.
Not the Milwaukee Bucks.
Justin, we'll start with you on this one. You got Patriots or Buccaneers on this one?
We're gonna go Buccaneers. I actually kind of do like Baker Mayfield. I think his personality is just something else. He was on the Manning cast on Monday Night Football, and just him interacting with the Mannings was entertaining. So, but I don't know.
Yeah,
he's an interesting character.
He is. He's got some personality for sure. I'll just make it quick for me. I'm going to go Buccaneers as well. I'm riding the Baker train as well. So Josh, who you got in this one? I know you're a Patriot hater. Maybe not that strong, but
yeah, not that strong anymore. I mean, Bill and Tom are gone. So, what was the points again?
2.5 for Tampa Bay. They're favored by 2.5
at home.
At home, yeah. So it's almost usually at home.
Yeah, and I think Bucky Irving's supposed to be coming back this weekend, right?
He better be. He's on my fantasy.
All right, so Baker's back, Bucky's back, Bucks by 7.
All right.
Oh, okay.
We're all going Buccaneers there. There we go. Well, we're going to a different Bucks for the biggest spread of the week. This is a game we don't like to pick, but we always pick the biggest spread of the week. Going into the college ranks, it's in the Big Ten. We got number 1 Ohio State favored by 29.5 at Purdue. At Purdue. So, Josh, we'll start with you on this one. Where's your allegiance in the Big Ten outside of Nebraska?
Okay, I'm sorry. I slept on that one. Who's playing Purdue?
Ohio State.
Okay. Yeah.
29.5 points.
They're definitely one of my least favorite teams after the Chiefs and the Buffaloes. 29.5 against Purdue. I think they'll do it. They're trying to flex their dominance in the Big Ten. So I think that they'll cover the spread. I'll take Ohio State to cover.
Yeah, I hate to make this pick, but I'm doing it with you as well. I think 30 points is the halftime lead, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I think they have to with the college football ratings that just came out. They got to keep point spreads are going to be big and make you look good and make you look better, even though the quality of the opponent is usually what most people look at, who you've beat. But I think they have to flex and keep on scoring as much as they can. So, and they, they're trying to push the quarterback for Heisman too. So,
do they play Indiana again this year?
Not unless they play. They'll play in the championship game, I believe, if they do play.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Or in the playoffs. I guess they technically could play in the playoffs, too. But,
yeah, I'm trying to pull it up real quick here. Yeah, it would be. Would they play in the Big Ten championship game?
well, they do it based off of rankings of the top two. They
Top
don't do
two.
it like divisions or anything
So
anymore.
Well, they
could
played
play there,
last
yeah.
year.
Yeah, but this year they're not playing in
Yeah, they
regular
don't play
season.
each other in the regular season. Yeah, but yeah, they could there. Yeah, so we got Ohio State across the board there. Let's jump back to the NFL. We'll save the Nebraska game for last, like we usually do. So Josh, being I still call them Oakland, Oakland Raiders.
That's fine.
fan,
I'm okay with that.
Give us your expert take on the Thursday night game in Denver.
Okay, there's a lot going on here. The NFL is so fluid. I don't know if you guys saw Brock Bowers go for 4 touchdowns the other day.
Guess who left him on his bench? This guy right here.
Oh, Justin, what were you doing?
Yeah.
But, you know, so as sad as the Raiders have been this year, I saw a little spark of hope in this Jacksonville game. They started throwing to Genty, getting him out, spreading that offense out. And with Brock Bowers back, he's such an X factor. And just divisional games, the Raiders will surprise people all the time. I mean, they'll go out and beat the Chiefs. They'll beat the Ravens when they're sub 500. I mean, we're talking about the team in 2010 who went 6-0 in the division and 2-9 everywhere else and missed the playoffs. So they have a hatred for division rivalry games. So, yeah, anything can happen. What was the points again, BJ?
So I didn't share the points yet, but thank you for your take.
Thank you. Politely, he's gonna disagree on everything.
No, here's where I'm at a disadvantage. So I'm gonna make an excuse. I've said this on the podcast before. I hate betting the Broncos. They always, as much as I hate and I won't draft a Chiefs player, I rarely draft a Broncos player on my fantasy team just because I want to watch the team play, and I can't. I mean, Will Lutz, I just am like, oh my gosh. So, but since we've been talking,
He feels the same way about you too. Will Lutz does.
Yeah. Anyway, when I wrote these on my spreadsheet tonight, the line, and I got these tonight before the show started. Denver was favored by 8.5 points at home. That's a big spread.
Yeah.
And since we've been talking, I just rechecked it while you were giving your expert analysis there. Denver is now a 9.5 point favorite. So something has happened in the last hour that put Denver another point on the board. And I don't know what it was. Maybe Sean Payton issued some more payments out for targeting. I don't know. But yeah, Denver's favored by 9.5 at home. So
well, I'll go ahead and make my pick real quick.
Well, I didn't make a pick yet. So
we'll save yours. We'll save yours, Josh.
Yeah.
We'll
okay. Justin, what do you? Let's let the neutral guy who's gonna come watch the game with me say what he thinks.
Oh yes. Oh, that's even watch it on the giant TV and probably.
I mean, I can redact my invitation depending on what you say.
Based off I'm gonna go with a tie.
No, we do not want ties. Yeah, we don't want to be.
Oh, I can't do that. All right. Man, I do have 2 Broncos on my fantasy team, but I have Brock Bowers. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm gonna pick. I don't know. You said 9 points, 8.5?
9.5 points. It's gone up a point since we've been talking. It
I'm
might have gone up a
surprise
point
you guys.
since you've been deliberating.
I'm going to say the Broncos are going to win, but they're not going to cover. They're not going to cover though.
All right, I put you down for a
Yeah,
tie.
that's where I was at. That's where I was at. So unlike Justin is with the Huskers, I'm a realist. Even though I'm a great fan, I'm not delusional. And like the Raiders have a way to like the Huskers kind of biff things and close games, like we saw this last weekend. And so I'm also going to say that Denver will win, but I don't think they're going to cover 9.5. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a Will Lutz is going to kick a 69-yard field goal to set the new NFL record in Mile High Stadium to beat the Raiders. That's my take. That's my call. You heard it here first.
Yeah, we heard it here first, but you're wrong. Yeah, Will Lutz doesn't have a leg to hit a 69-yard.
I was going to say he might have to kick that. He might have to kick that left-footed.
But Josh, I just earned so much respect for you in this short time because of that realistic mentality. Here's where I struggle as a Bronco fan, because we're on, like I said, I don't know if I said this pre-show or during the show, the whole one single point or single column, single digit losses that the Huskers have had over the last 10 years. And they take pride in being like the most single digit losses in the universe or whatever. It's
yeah,
like,
we were almost there.
You still lost, it's whatever, but Denver was in the same boat, and Denver is now winning games, kind of getting that coin flip tossed the other way. So
yeah,
we're going with the same pick. I'm going Denver to win, but I don't think they cover the points because Denver, for some reason, their offense cannot get going, and I'm struggling with that. But I appreciate your realist perspective, and thank you for that. That's
short week, and the altitude.
Totally.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough, hard fought game. But yeah.
And thankfully, Rich Gannon is not the quarterback. Tom Brady may be the owner, but he's not the quarterback. So, yeah, we're
hopefully good. Hopefully, the Raiders will have to do another 2-point conversion.
Well, I was gonna say, I was at the Nebraska game, and Nebraska did their best Raiders impression by wearing all black and kind of, biffing it in the fourth quarter. And then ironically, the Raiders did their best Nebraska impression this weekend and went for 2 in the win, and it didn't work out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Nebraska game, you were in person for the blackout at Memorial Stadium. Just I saw it on TV. It looked awesome. The environment looked awesome. What was it like in the stadium, not seeing essentially red anywhere? Essentially, what was that like?
It was just, I mean, I thought I was going to see more goth people there, like taking that opportunity, but
it's just where they're.
No, it was just like being at Menards on a Saturday, No, it was a sweet environment. But yeah, I mean, most people took the blackout seriously. There was a lot of people who I think their memo was just don't wear red, because I saw a lot of denim and dark blues and just not red. But a lot of blackout. It was really cool. We were there selling chair backs, raising money for our church's youth group. Really hard work, but really worth it. So we technically didn't have seats. You had to go kind of scavenge for seats at some point after you're done selling chair backs. And then, but yeah, we found some seats way up high in that 6th floor.
The 600 area?
Yeah, it's the east side at the very top, which from the ground looks like they'd be terrible seats, but they're actually pretty decent. It's pretty. I saw, I could see Raiola's ankle twist. So from there, not exactly, not perfectly, but yeah, no, it's not. They're not as bad as they seem. They're actually really good, and they have backs on the chairs, so you don't need a seat back. So pro tip.
Yep, CBJ, this is why I need to come. Yeah, pro tip: don't buy the chairs for that section up there.
if you're in the 600,
you'll be disappointed.
That's cool. Is there Yeah. The Huskers are playing UCLA this week, and
Backup quarterback.
we kind of predicted the mess with the alternate uniforms, and I mean it's a cool idea. I mean it's getting people in the school. It's the whole Oregon effect, right? You're trying to get, but there's something to be said about tradition, and I still think, yeah. Anyway, I've got an outsider's opinion about the Huskers, but UCLA is favored by 1.5.
Off of a bye week. They got a bye
UCLA
week.
is favored by 1.5, and I know UCLA's one of those schools that fired their coach and all the things. Nebraska's lost their quarterback. Their coach is still looking over the fence, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go first because I'm not a local Husker fan, but I'm gonna say Nebraska wins the game because they've got some bulletin board material that UCLA is favored by 1.5.
Well,
And I think Nebraska goes in there and takes care of business.
I think Nebraska, they have nothing to lose. Like, I honestly, the mentality of trying not to lose, they just need to get that away and just go out and play like you have nothing to lose, because technically you're down your starting quarterback. I mean, you're going with a new quarterback. Just go out there and play and just call a game that makes sense.
So
it makes sense on PlayStation, but why doesn't it make sense? No, it's joking, but
let me ask
it's
this
just
question.
it's frustrating.
I know we're
Nebraska by 10, by the way.
I got you already on that one.
Yeah.
I think I should just
That's the
predict our
forever
predictions, and
Forever
I would
pick.
actually do better predicting our predictions than I would in the actual predictions.
Yeah,
but,
that's fair.
Why, to your point, Justin, if they could just go out and they have nothing to lose and go play the freaking game, why can't Matt Rule and Dana Holgerson, is that how you say it?
Holgerson, yeah.
Why don't they just go out and show off for this game? Why don't they just go put 63 on UCLA and call it good?
I already told you in an email earlier this week that they were going to blow out UCLA. And you're like, oh, really? And I didn't answer that email because it was later in the day. And then I didn't respond to it. But I agree. I think they should just go out. They have a quarterback who is the backup, but he's coming back home. He's from Compton, California, so right down the road. I think. I don't know which way. But yeah, they just need to do it. They already made a bowl game. No one's expecting them. I mean, no one's expecting them to even win because of the bulletin board material, right? 1.5 to UCLA. Just go out there. Just, who cares? Just play, wing it, and just go. So call the annexation of Puerto Rico play, and we can call that good from Little Giants, and just play that.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, take a page out of USC's book and a little, surprise trick play here and there. I think they're gonna. I think they should do something like that. I think go out, remember why you're playing the game, have fun. I think that'll be Matt Rule's pep talk. I think. What time is the game? Is it night or afternoon?
It's a night game.
Well, it's body clock Nebraska 8 p.m.
Well, so nobody in LA is going to a college football game at 8:00 at night on a Saturday. So there'll be there'll be some good Husker faithful there. I think we lean on Emmett Johnson, wear him down. Let's trust him. Let's not abandon the run. We got to get Latif more than one RPO play to run. I think they got to. This is going to come down to coaching. I think we got to get a few nice designs in there for some good, and get some good play calling on offense, but don't abandon the run. Throw in a little razzle dazzle. But yeah, I think just go in there, Nebraska power, and shove it down their throats. But Nebraska's winning this game.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
By 10. Got it.
I'll go out on a limb and say I'm going to say 21. We're going to beat them by 21.
Jeez. All right.
This has to be a staple game. This has to be a game that puts the OC on the map again for one of these jobs. Maybe Dana could come out to Oregon State and be the head coach. I don't know.
Well, Dana, his first game last year calling plays is when they went to California to play USC. I mean, I know they lost that game, but so that's only been a year that he's been an offense coordinator, and he had a freshman quarterback then too. So
yeah,
which means that we'll probably trip over everything. And
I think one of our
we're winning
offensive
this game.
linemen got hurt in that USC game.
Everybody gets hurt in
Yep.
every game. Nebraska's only given up two. Nebraska last 2 games have given up 2 sacks, and both sacks have ended someone's career or ended the season. Excuse me.
Justin,
one career loss.
Slow down.
It's just we need to. All right.
Well, on that note, Josh, thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for being on with us. We are so thankful that I think this is breaking news. We're so thankful that we have a new show sponsor, and we're so thankful for that. So,
yes.
In all seriousness, man, I just appreciate you coming on and spending time with us. Thank you so much for being Justin's friend and making sure he stays in line, especially on the golf course. I know it's a good thing golf is played outside. Otherwise, Justin's head would be way bigger than it is. So that's good.
Wowzers.
Yeah, no, it's been my pleasure. I've enjoyed listening to the episodes, hearing a lot of the stories about Justin that I didn't know, and then also getting to know you and kind of this history of the church where we reunited. And your part in that. I mean, because just going to that church for 10 years, the most common thing I would hear that I didn't know what they were talking about, they would always say, were you here when Thelanders were here? And I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
But it's nice to like connect all these dots, and then it's just really fun hearing you guys talk, and just like knowing that there's history there, there's relationship there, there's realness there, and it's just been fun to kind of be a fly on the wall, so to speak, and kind of find out more about my buddy and just hear you guys and your stories. And you're doing a great job, and I just encourage you to keep it up and keep up the good work and keep on keeping on.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for those kind words. You were there 10 years.
A decade.
You were at Connecting Point 10 years.
3 pastors, 3 worship pastors. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You were there
every
longer
3
than
years.
Every 3 years.
Well,
yep.
So here's the thing is that
yeah,
I mean, like, I felt God was telling me and us to, like, because you always get that voice in your hair, like, in your ear that says, the pastor's leaving, the worship pastor's leaving. You can leave too, and nobody will know. It'll just be part of this new transition. But I felt like God was telling us to stay there, and we did, and there was a reason for that. I mean, I can't write it out on paper, but I know that God used it to put us where we're at now. But yeah, we'll find out someday. We can ask him what the purpose of all this was. But yeah, we were there a decade, and it was fruitful for us and our children in many ways. And then COVID happened and a series of other events, but we'll have to save this for another episode. But yeah.
Church part 2. Yeah.
Church part 2.
Church part
cool.
2.
Church part 2.
Well, thanks again, Josh. Justin, any final words you got for us tonight?
No, just once again, Josh, thank you for coming on. And thanks for being a friend. And, just being there. I mean, I know that it's fun that we can go a few weeks and not talk to each other. And then it's like, we're always making sure we find time, even though we get busy and stuff. So I appreciate the friendship and appreciate you being there for things. And I always enjoy wanting to know what's going on with you, because I'm always excited to hear about your stories and stuff and your business and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
Well,
Probably
likewise,
try to get
likewise, and everything.
too nosy, but I sometimes I'm envious of people like you that have businesses and enjoy the work that you do and you have a passion for it. So I'm always poking my nose to figure out something. So I love hearing about that. So
Yeah, well, I'll have to show all the horror stories because it's not all rainbows and unicorns.
I know it's not.
Yeah. So,
I
yeah.
know.
So,
I know.
we'll take some biblical advice here for anybody who want to start a business. Count the cost because it's a serious one. But yeah,
No. And sometimes sometimes you need that platform to vent and complain, and
you're great for
why I
that.
asked.
I appreciate
know,
you
right?
so much. Yeah, and like you guys have said on the show many times, like you guys will get together with the crew from back in the day, and it's like no time has passed. Well, yeah, Justin is such a gracious friend at this stage in life. We don't have to know everything all the time right away, but we can be apart, and then it's like no time has passed, and everything's great. So he's very mindful of being a good, faithful 40-something friend.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's good. Yeah, thanks for those words. I echo them. Justin's a class act for sure, and a great friend,
100%.
and we're glad that he's still making friends. The thing about Justin's friendship is it's loyal. You never have to worry where you stand with him, so he'll be there through thick and
Amen.
thin, and that's awesome. So we need more Justins in the world. So
That's right.
Some people might not like that.
but
Some
yeah.
people.
Well, it's been good. It's been fun, guys. Thanks for the time. And Josh, next time I'm in town, we're gonna watch a game together for sure. So
I am so looking forward to that.
Yeah, and we'll have to.
I have
find,
lots I want to talk to BJ about. Stuff that I've heard in the episode, but we would have to do some long form thing to get through it on here. But yeah, a million questions.
Well, we'll just have to do another follow-up episode with all your questions.
We can do that. Yeah, we can do that for sure. So
it's our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want. Yeah, it's more content. So
we're just not going to do it tonight because we'll go 4 or 5 hours.
That's right.
I got waiver claims to make, baby.
That's right.
That's right. Priorities.
Nebraska guys to bed. So, hey, if MVP listener, thanks for listening. Shout out Vivid Sign Co. Go check them out if you need some sign work done. And Josh, thanks for joining us. If you're listening, thanks for tuning in. And just remember, keep looking up, keep trusting in him. He's the author and finisher of our faith. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Peace.